React.js and Next.js with TypeScript. So in this batch, basically we are going to learn both things, guys. We are going to learn even React.js from completely zero level, completely from scratch, and we are going to learn Next.js as well. This React.js and Next.js, we are going to learn using a language called TypeScript, not using a JavaScript. We are going to learn using a language called TypeScript. Now, why we are choosing the TypeScript means this is the modern front-end AI stack for developing the application. Now, you are aware that if you develop any application, in the market, all these applications should be AI driven. It means in your applications, you have to implement AI features. You have to implement the AI features. Now, every application has that demand. Maybe that can be AI chatbot, or it can be any AI services, but you have to implement some AI features. You have to integrate some AI features. And to integrate our AI features and to develop the application in much more optimized and rapid way, there is a front-end stack which is getting very popular in the market. The front-end stack which is getting very popular in the market. And what is that front-end stack? That front-end stack is React.js with Next.js. So people are preferring to develop the front-end part for any AI application using React.js with Next.js using TypeScript. This is the reason now the people who knows React, who knows Next.js, who knows TypeScript, all those people have very good demand in the market. And in your resume, if you are a front-end developer, and if you don't add this particular terms like Next.js or TypeScript, then most of the time your resumes are not getting selected. Most of the times your resumes will not get selected. That is the reason I have started with this particular pattern now. So initially I used to teach only React.js, but now I have started adding this Next.js as well, because this is what industry is recommending now. So people should know Next.js, they should know React.js, they should know even TypeScript. So what we are going to learn in this batch, how our batch is going to be, everything we are going to discuss in our today's session. What should be the prerequisite to attend this batch? All those things we will discuss step by step. And once I have done with all this discussion, if you have any queries, you can unmute yourself and you can ask your queries. You can clarify your queries. Okay. So let's start our session. So before we start our session, before we proceed with the topics, first we should know what are the prerequisite to attend this batch or to understand all these technologies. So to learn this React, Next.js and TypeScript, you should be aware of HTML. You should know basics of HTML. You should know CSS, and you should be aware of JavaScript. You should know basics of JavaScript. Now, basics of JavaScript means you should be aware of the concepts like what are variables, what are data types, operators, functions, object concept, array concept. You should know about control flow statements like if, else, else if, switch, and you should know about loops like while loop, for loop, do while loop, And last, you should know about the basic of DOM. DOM concept you should be aware of. What is DOM concept? Why we use DOM concept? How DOM concept works? That concept you should be aware of. Like if you know this basics of JavaScript and if you know HTML and CSS, then you are right and you are the fit to start learning this Next.js and React.js with TypeScript. Because this is not a basic course, it is completely advanced level. So to learn this advanced level course, we have to be very good with this basics at least. We should know HTML, we should know CSS, we should know JavaScript. This is the prerequisite. Is it clear, guys? Anyone have any doubts, any queries up to here? Yeah. If you have any queries, you can unmute yourself or you can use chat to ask your questions. Okay. Now let's come to our part. Now what we are going to learn here. So we are going to start with TypeScript. Initially 1 week, I will take sessions on TypeScript. So we are going to learn TypeScript language. And to learn this TypeScript language, we should be aware of basics of JavaScript, whatever topics I have mentioned here. So TypeScript language is it's like a JavaScript only. 80% concepts of TypeScript and JavaScripts are same. Only there are additional topics in TypeScripts which we don't find in the JavaScript. That is what we are going to learn. So the main purpose of learning the TypeScript is adding the static types, or I can say type checking in our application. So what is that type checking? What are the problems with JavaScript? How those problems are resolved in TypeScript? Why people are preferring TypeScript? Everything we are going to learn step by step. So we are going to start with TypeScript first. We will learn TypeScript completely from basic till advanced that is required for us. Now, once we learn TypeScript, then we will start with React.js. We will learn all the core concepts of React.js because Next.js is just a framework of React.js. Next.js is built on the top of React.js. So in Next.js, whatever concepts we have in React, all those concepts we are going to use. In this Next.js, whatever concepts we have in React, everything we are going to use here. So Next.js is just a framework of React.js. That is the reason we should know React completely from basics to end. We should know all concepts of React. So we are going to learn all the core concepts of React. Once we learn with React, then I will take some session, 1 week session on Tailwind CSS. Now, instead of preferring Bootstrap, we are going to prefer Tailwind CSS. Now, Tailwind CSS is like a utility framework of CSS. So what is that utility framework? Why Tailwind CSS are so important? Why it is becoming very trend in the market? Why it has so much demand in the market? That we are going to see, and how to work with this Tailwind CSS and how Tailwind CSS will help us to add a beautiful designs, a modern look, designs, styles, all those things we are going to learn. So we are going to learn about the Tailwind CSS. Now, once we are good with TypeScript, React, and Tailwind CSS, then we will start with Next.js. We will start with Next.js. So I'm just mentioning very high level topics what we are going to learn. We are going to learn Tailwind and Next.js. So Next.js is just a framework. It is a framework of React.js. It is a framework of React.js. So to learn Next.js, we should have knowledge on React. To learn React, we should have knowledge on TypeScript and JavaScript. So React you can learn with only JavaScript, React you can learn with TypeScript. But right now, modern trend is people are preferring TypeScript over JavaScript to work with React and Next.js. Now, whatever applications you will create with AI, all those applications you will see most of the applications are created on React using TypeScript only. That's why TypeScript is very, very, very important right now. So we are going to learn Next.js. Now, once we learn Next.js, then here we are going to learn additional libraries like we are going to learn Clerk. Now, this Clerk is used for implementing our sign in, sign up with authentication. Like we can add here GitHub authentication, we can add Google authentication, we can add Facebook authentication. Such kind of authorization and authentication we can implement in our application using this Clerk. So we are going to see how this Clerk will help us to implement that sign in and sign up functionality with different platforms like Google, GitHub, all that. So right now you might have seen whenever you visit any application, they will have two options. Either we have to create account manually by giving our data, or else we can sign up using Google or we can sign up using GitHub. So how we can implement those things using Clerk, that we are going to see. So right now Clerk is also becoming very trending right now in the market. Now people don't want to implement sign up or sign in completely from scratch. They want to use services like Clerk. Now once we are done with this, then we are going to learn about TanStack query. TanStack query. Now this TanStack query will help us to implement API integration. Now once we learn TypeScript, React, Next.js, we will be capable of building front-end applications. Now once we develop front-end applications, now we get a requirement where we have to fetch the data from the database, or we need to store some data in the database. So we need to interact with these backend applications and database. So our front-end application need to connect with backend and database, or it needs to interact with backend and database, or we have to integrate our front-end with backend and database. This is where TanStack query will come into picture. So using TanStack query, we are going to learn how we can connect our front-end with the backend. And it's very trending in the market right now, TanStack. Initially, we used to use only Axios or Fetch to integrate our front-end application with the back-end application. But here, lot of boilerplate code we have to write, lot of manual code we have to write by taking the help of Axios and the concepts of React. So to overcome those things, to make it more simple and easy, this TanStack query came into picture. So why we use TanStack, how it will help, everything we are going to learn in detail about TanStack. So TypeScript, React, Tailwind CSS, Next.js, Clerk, TanStack. And once we have learned this, then I will provide you some videos on RTL. RTL stands for React Testing Library. So how we can implement unit testing in our application using this RTL, how we can test our application, how we can test our features which we have developed. That part we have to learn. So for this, I am creating one series, guys. I am creating in-depth series because RTL is one of the very big chapter. So to learn React testing library itself will take 1 or 2 months for us. That is the reason I wanted to create a very in-depth series for RTL, and I'm working on that part. So I think I will be able to share that series with you whenever this is done. So this series I will provide you. So this will be in the recorded form. This only one topic will be in the recorded form. So we are going to learn TypeScript, React, Tailwind, Next, Clerk, TanStack, and RTL. This is on very high level, I am saying. These are the main topics of our batch. Now, once we learnt all this, then we will develop one project, which will be AI driven. We will develop one project, which can be AI driven. Now, that project can be related to our resume analyzer. It can be our resume analyzer application. Like we will create the resume and we will give that resume to our application. Now our application will analyze our resume. It will try to find what are the issues we have with our resume, or based on our resume, what kind of job roles we can apply for. So everything will be AI, will be done by AI. If there are any issues with our resume, it will mention these are the issues with your resume. You have to just do certain modifications on your resume. Either we will create this resume analyzer application, or we will create doctor assistant doctor assistance application. So right now I'm working on these two applications. So we can choose any one and we can work on that. Now in this doctor assistance application, what we are going to do means, now if we are going to give our symptoms, whatever symptoms we have to our applications, like if you have fever or headache, then you can tell your symptoms, or you can consult doctors in online with the voice like voice feature. So we can book a slot, we can connect with a doctor, and all those doctors will be AI doctors. They are not physical doctors. All those will be the AI doctors. So when we say certain symptoms of us, now they are going to give the solution for us. They are going to give the prescriptions for us. So like that, how we can integrate our applications with AI and how we can make the things much more simpler, that is what we are going to see. And to develop this application, whatever application we might develop, to develop this application, we are going to use this entire stack. So that practically you should understand, if I want to develop any application, if I want to develop any project, how I will be able to use all these concepts. As you are aware of, learning the concept is one thing, guys. Learning the concept is one phase, and applying those concepts and solving the problem or developing the project is another phase. Developing applications by using concepts is another phase. Learning concept is like one phase. So everyone can learn the concepts, but once you learn the concepts, how to apply those concepts to develop application, that is very, very important, because this is the skill industry is expecting from you guys. And most of the people will go with this part only. They know the concept, but they don't know how to apply those concepts and develop the applications. That's why so many freshers gets rejected, and they will get a feeling that people are asking experience being a fresher. It's not like people are not asking you a experience being a fresher. They want whether you know how to apply the concepts practically or not. They want to check whether you have done certain personal projects or not, whether you have that practical experience or not. That is what people are checking. And most of the people, 70 to 80% of the people in our India lacks that practical knowledge when they are at fresher level. So companies are companies are asking experience for fresher. It doesn't mean that they are asking company experience. They are asking, do you have any experience of developing the projects? Have you developed any personal projects? Do you know certain concept of certain technology, how to use in application development? That is what they are expecting. And that is what we want to overcome. That's why we are going to work on the project part also. So that in your interviews, at least you can explain them how React concepts are used in real time, how React concepts are solving certain problem, how Next.js is solving certain problem, how TanStack queries solving certain problem. All those things we are going to learn. Now, one more thing I forgot to mention here, that is Redux. We are going to learn Redux here for state management. Now, there is one more library called Zustand, which is becoming little popular in the market. Zustand is just alternate to Redux, but still right now 80% of applications are built on Redux only. But the new applications which started building from from this year only, now people started preferring Zustand instead of Redux. So maybe like after 2 years or 3 years, you will see that Zustand will be on the top if this market goes well. If Zustand sustain properly, then 100% it will replace Redux. But right now, still, if you go for any applications which are developed in previous years, all those are on Redux only. So here I will be explaining you Redux, and for Zustand, I will provide you recorded video so that even if you get a chance of working on Zustand, easily you will be able to work. Because both covering will become very lengthy for us. That is the reason this part I will provide you as a recorded form. This is like additional. So just for this is the first batch where I am adding this Zustand, or else always I prefer to use Redux with Redux Toolkit. So basically Redux Toolkit we are going to use. So Zustand, this is just for our knowledge purpose, maybe for our interview purpose right now. If people are asking, we will be able to clear that part. So again, remember, Zustand is just a alternate to Redux Toolkit. But still, Redux Toolkit is more popular in the market. Most of the applications are still on the Redux Toolkit only. But the new AI-driven applications which are getting developed, those are based on Zustand. So this is the modern React stack, guys. We call all this as a modern React stack for developing a front-end application, for developing a front-end AI application. We call it as a modern React stack for developing front-end AI applications. Now the people who knows all this, they are in the demand. If you just say I know only React, no one is going to give you a job. In your resume, all these terms should be there. All these terms should be available. So if you get any doubt after the class, what you guys have to do, just I am giving you one assignment. After the class, you just go to the chat GPT, or you go to the Copilot, or you go Gemini, or you go to the Grook, or you go to the cloud. You go anywhere and ask only one question. What is the current modern what is the current modern React, what is the current modern stack for developing front-end AI application? You have to just ask one question. What is current modern stack? Don't mention React, just mention current modern front-end stack for creating front-end application, for creating front-end part of AI applications. If you want to create any AI application, for that, obviously front end is required. Now to create that front end for AI application, what is the modern front-end stack? So what is current modern front-end stack for creating front-end part of AI applications? You just ask this question on all these platforms and just check what they are giving, what answer they are giving. You should find all these options in most of the part, especially React, TypeScript, Next.js, Tailwind CSS, TanStack query. It is completely important. You can try after the class. And you try on all the platforms. Don't try on one or two. You try whatever you know, you try on all the platforms. So now why this stack is becoming very popular means, now we know that right now there is a trend of developing LLMs. Now most of the LLMs are trained on GitHub repositories, which belongs to React. So most of the LLMs got trained on most of the GitHub repos, and most of the GitHub repos are related to React compared to any other technology like Angular or Vue. That is the reason if you go to any LLMs applications like your ChatGPT or Lovable, or you might go with your Copilot, by default, they will generate React applications for frontend. Most of LLMs by default, they will develop React applications only because their LLMs got trained on React.js. Most of the repos are related to React. That is the fact. That's why when it comes to AI driven applications, here React is winning the things. So like if I just try here, if I just go to any AI application, for example, here, if I just go to ChatGPT and if I just ask what is the current modern front-end stack to develop AI applications. So the modern front-end stack is Next.js with React-based. Language TypeScript. For styling, Tailwind CSS. And now all these are AI SDKs, AI APIs. Now if I ask, see here, TanStack query for our state management and Zustand. Clerk for authentication. So like this, see, these are the things what people are preferring now. Next, TypeScript, Tailwind CSS, ShadCN is the collection of components, some predefined components, and this is built on Tailwind CSS only. We are going to use this ShadCN also. So it provides us lot of predefined components, and all those predefined components are developed using Tailwind CSS. So we should know Tailwind CSS. Vercel AI SDK, this is for deployment. Once you develop your application, if you want to deploy your application, front-end application, we go for this Vercel. Postgres SQL, this is preferred database for AI-driven applications. So if you are creating any AI-driven application, now people are not preferring MongoDB. Instead of that, people are preferring this Postgres SQL. Open AI APIs. Now these are the AI APIs which we can integrate with our front-end applications to get the features of AI. So these are the main applications, guys. These are the front-end part which people are preferring. Now you can add our stack. Like I want to use React plus Next.js plus Tailwind CSS, TanStack, query. We can add here Redux Toolkit or Zustand, plus we can add Clerk. So this stack, how this stack is for developing front-end AI applications. So if we just ask this question to AI, now what it is answering, let's try to understand. That's a strong modern stack for AI application. Now it is giving us some more suggestions. It is asking us to add. So this is what we are added, and it is giving us some more suggestions. So it is asking us to add AI SDK. Obviously, when we develop AI related applications, we will use the AI Open AI's APIs that we are going to use. ShadCN, I did not mention, but we are going to use even ShadCN for getting some predefined components. Now for form management, they are asking us to use React Hook Forms or Jod. But anyways, we are using Clerk. When we use Clerk, we don't need this one. That's it. It is just adding these three things in our present stack. But anyways, we are going to use Clerk. When we are using Clerk, we don't require this too. And if you want to add any AI related open APIs, then we can add this, or else AI SDK you can replace with your AI backend applications. You can develop AI backend applications using Node.js or Spring Boot by integrating with certain LLMs, and you can replace those with your AI SDKs. So if you don't have any backend application, then we will use the open AI APIs we have in the market. So this is what right now in market, the things are getting trend. So whether you learn here or you learn anywhere, but if you want to be a front-end engineer for AI driven application, or if you want to be AI front-end engineer, then this is the stack what you require. Is it clear, guys? Anyone have any doubts up to here?